Welcome to the Career Shift Podcast. I'm Avis Green, your retail career coach, and my goal is to help you grow your career so that you can make the impact you're destined to and make the kind of money that allows you to live out your dreams. Whether you're aiming for a promotion, preparing for an interview, or feeling stuck in your current job, this is where career goals become career wins. Let's dive into this week's topic. The fastest way to get a promotion in retail. Have you been putting in lots of work, staying late, covering shifts, and keeping the store running, but you still haven't gotten that promotion? Well, today we're going to talk about some simple things that you can do to adjust to help you land the big promotion that you are after. I remember having an associate come to me and let me know that she was ready for the next step. She was ready to become a salary leader, but she didn't understand why she kept getting passed over for promotions. So we sat down and we started to talk about things that she could do that would help her leadership team realize that she was ready for the next step. So today I am going to go over those same things with you. It's really important that you understand that promotions don't always go to the hardest working associate. They go to whoever is working, but also showing that they can be a great leader and they're able to share why they can be a great leader. I want you to get really clear about what position you want and the time frame for that position. We have to make sure that first off, it's realistic. If your goal is to become a salary leader or to become a store manager tomorrow or by the end of the month and there are no openings currently, that's probably not the most realistic goal. My advice when it comes to setting career goals is to look at your career in 6-month chunks. So we want to plan out what would I like for my career to look like in the next 6 months, and then what would I like for it to look like in the next year. Those are usually really good time frames for you to be able to make an impact. The next tip is to let leadership know that you're interested in growing your career. Too many people wait to be noticed. You have to make it known that you are ready to grow and you are ready for a promotion. I recommend you scheduling a conversation with your manager, whoever your direct supervisor is. Ask them for time to go over your career and your career goals. When you sit down with them, let them know whatever the time frame is that you've decided. Ask them if they feel like that's a good time frame, and then ask, what would I need to do to be considered for the next leadership opportunity, or for a leadership opportunity in the time frame that I'm aiming for. This will allow you to get really clear feedback from your leader and help to guide whatever steps you need to take to improve or to continue doing to make sure that you are aligned and ready for that promotion. Sometimes I'll have associates to reach out to me directly around what they want to do for as far as their career, and I am always open to talk about it with them. But I always recommend that they go back and talk to their direct supervisor next if they hadn't done so already. HR is here to support and we want to help you reach your goals, but ultimately your leader is the person who's in the building with you, working with you day in and day out, and you really need to have their support and have the insight that they can give you on what is keeping you from landing the job so far. All right, so our next tip is to start thinking like a leader. If you are trying to become a department supervisor, then you want to start thinking like one. If your goal is to become an assistant store manager or a store manager, then you want to start thinking like the people that are in that position. You have to look at leadership differently depending on which level you're at. So each level you go up, you have to address things and look at things very differently. So I want you to start being really intentional about thinking like a leader. So promotions go to those who act like leaders before they have the title. We are not going to be in the group of people that say, I'm not getting paid for that, so I'm not doing that yet. We want to make sure that we're not being taken advantage of and just doing everybody's job. But at the same time, we're showing why we are a valuable associate and why we should be considered for the next position. You want to be able to take on some additional responsibilities. Simple things like offering to train new hires or volunteering for specific leadership tasks that will allow you to flex the skills that maybe they don't know that you have. I want you to identify one thing that you can start doing today or the next day that you work that would show leadership you are ready for a promotion. Tip number 4 is improve your interview skills now. I love it when women tell me after we have gone through coaching that they feel like they really nailed the interview. And the only way that you can really get that feeling is if you start to prepare in enough time. You do not want to wait until you have an interview scheduled to start prepping. You want to start practicing before the interview so that way you have enough time to really hone the skills that are needed. You can pick one interview question and focus on that for a week, and you can practice using the STAR method answering the question until you feel really comfortable around that question and you feel comfortable with your answer. At the end of this episode, I have something that I am so excited to share with you. It's definitely going to help you with making sure that you get to that next step in your career. Tip number 5 is our final tip for today, and it is strengthen your skill set every day at work. I want you to be intentional about growing your skills so that you can have really great examples when it's time to interview. And you can only do that if you are really thoughtful about going out and making sure that you are developing and growing yourself. Some examples that you can do are lead a shift meeting so that you can practice your communication skills. You can shadow your manager to learn why they make the decisions that they make. Or if you can't shadow them, then simply ask them, hey, I know that we had this project go on, or I know that we made this change. Can you share with me why we did that? What was your thoughts on it? How did you come up with that decision? I would love to know your thought process. The action step that I want you to take for this tip is to choose one small way to stretch your leadership skills this week. Something that you can do every time that you're at work, or maybe a couple different things that you can do on different days. We just really want to be intentional around developing our leadership skills. So let's talk about our final takeaways. I want you guys to remember that promotions don't happen by accident. You have to position yourself to be the obvious choice, and you only do that by being intentional before the interview. I want you to start taking these steps now so that way when the interview comes up, you are ready. All right, so earlier in the episode, I told you that I had something special for you, and it is a brand new freebie. This freebie gives you 10 questions to fast track your promotion. In this, I will list out 10 really great questions that you can ask your leader, and they will be able to give you insight on how you can best improve your skills so that you are ready for the next promotion. Now, when you're using this, I don't recommend that you sit down and rapid fire all 10 questions at once. I think that you pick a couple questions every week that you ask your leader so that way you can get really thoughtful feedback and they're not just trying to quickly answer your questions. Then take the answers and figure out how you can implement a process to improve or to continue doing whatever it is that they gave you feedback on. So to access the 10 questions to fast track your promotion, you can go to theavisgreen.com/fast. That's www.theavisgreen.com/fast. FAST. We are well into 2025 with February well on its way. I want to make sure that you are keeping the momentum going and you are really staying encouraged about improving your career. You can hit whatever your career goals are. You just have to make sure that you are being intentional and you stay focused. I'm here to help keep you on track. I cannot wait to share what our next topic is. I will talk to you on the next episode.